But one more thing before Jack Jr. comes with the eulogy of his father.
Yeah, good call.
I'm a man of etiquette and protocol. And on behalf of the Evans family, on behalf of this brotherhood, we express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the present president of Southwestern Christian College, who is seated on this stage, for yielding the facilities that somebody last night called the house that Jack built. I think it will be fitting to ask all who are present and past Board of Trustee members who have stood with Dr. Evans these many, many years. Gentlemen, would you please kindly stand and let us convey to you that our brotherhood loves you for what you've done for our children and for our brotherhood. Ladies and gentlemen, a spitting image of his daddy, a walking Bible, a student of God's holy word, a lover of God's kingdom, and a representative of the security of our future relative to Afro-American churches of Christ. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, the mentored and developed walking Bible, the son of the late Dr. Jack Evans Sr., here he is, Jack Evans Jr.
Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. For you have need of patience, that after you have done the will of God, you might receive the promise. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and he will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. For we are not of them that draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the world was framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made by the things which shall appear. By faith Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice, by the which obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his guilt by him being dead, yet he speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated, and he was not found, for God had translated him. But before his translation he held this testimony, that he pleased God. For without faith it is impossible to please him. He that cometh to God must believe that he is, that he's a reward of them that diligently seek him. Wherefore, seeing we encompassed by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us. Let us run with patience the race set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith.
Hear you.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hill, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. I knew if God let me live long enough, this day would come. It was just 7 months ago to the day where we were in this same facility, and I was saying goodbye to my sweet dear mother. I knew it wouldn't be very long, the Lord let me live, that he would come for my daddy. I'm so thankful to all of you that have come today. Got a lot of text messages and calls and all that, and I appreciate it. My parents were a team. They made an influence on this brotherhood. My wife and I have been in the season of caregiving, and I thank God for her. I don't know if I could have made it by myself, but she helped me and my brothers, and we tried our best to take care of Mom and Daddy. Y'all know him as the president, and as the preacher, and as the crusade speaker, and all of that, but just to us, he was just Daddy. He was just Daddy, and we're going to miss him tremendously. They asked me about moving this up in the program, and I was hesitant because I figured if I was last, I could give back some time so we could get to the cemetery before dark, but they kept on. And so I'm going to try to be very expeditious with time, and I want those who need to make a move. We appreciate you taking the time and the money and all that to come and be with us today. Those of you that don't know, and I've been very transparent these last few weeks, months in my preaching, trying to help people in the pew. My father had dementia. We tried our best to take care of him the best we could, but then it got to where we needed some help. It was no fault of his own. He and my mother literally wore themselves out. They gave everything they had to this brotherhood, to church. Southwestern Christian College, to our family. They gave everything they had, and they were literally worn out. And I was looking through some of his things as I began to put some stuff together to keep him with me, and he was working on his last book, or his next book, and I found the introduction one day. I sat on the edge of his bed and I cried like a baby when I read it. He had gotten to the point he could not keep his thoughts fluid, and so he would get frustrated and he'd just put it down. And he'd tell us he's going to finish it, but we knew he wasn't, but I'm going to finish it for him. But this is an introduction. I have titled this book, Strength for the Journey, because I want to leave with our brotherhood in the Church of Christ my side of the story of my arduous 56 years as a student, teacher, academic dean, and president of Southwestern Christian College in Terrell, Texas. And this journey has been the most pleasant, fruitful, and challenging journey that I have ever had in my life. The next journey that I look forward to, which is the only one that could be better, is the one that I will travel with Jesus. When he takes me with him. When he comes to take me back to heaven with him and says, "Well done, my good and faithful child." And what a reunion that will be when all God's children get home. Christians will need no roadmap up there because they already know the way. Yes, in parenthesis, John 14:6, where Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me." if just give me a few minutes, I want to talk about strength for the journey. Genesis 48:21. Moses wrote these words, and Israel said to Joseph, behold, I died, but God shall be with you. And I don't have to tell preachers the background of this text. Israel, whose name was Jacob, he's got 12 boys. He's dividing up the land. He gets to Joseph. He's about to bless Joseph. Joseph wants Israel to bless his sons, Israel's grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh. But he left something with Joseph that is applicable to today. And I thank God for it. I live today as a but God person. And I have preached this all over the country and out of the country. When you know Jesus, when you are connected to the Father, your life is different. You look at things different. You respond with but God. Even when folk are messy and all in your business, you say, yeah, but God. Somebody will say in a few days, I heard that your dad passed away. I'll say, yes, but God. I'm a but God person. And I think Joseph understood what his dad was saying to him, because he said in Genesis 50 and verse number 20 to his evil brothers, he said, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. And I understand now, when you put things in God's hands, you don't have to worry about what man does. You're a but God person. And I'm glad my father instilled this in me and in my brothers and in our family. He lived literally what he preached. And I just thank God. I thank God today. And even today I say, but God, yes, I stand before you right now with a broken heart. But it doesn't mean I'm going to stop preaching. I'm going to preach even more and stronger now, because I'm a but God person. Daddy taught us so many things through example. A lot of people thought that he sat me down and he taught me how to do this and do that. He never did that. He taught by example. We listened, we watched, we traveled with him. And he didn't just teach us about the church and about spiritual things, but he taught us how to live, how to be good men, to be men of integrity, to be men who would be compassionate. And I used to wrestle with my dad so much because he was so very compassionate, and now I understand why. I watched him as people were critical of him. And there were many who were critical, same people he helped turn around and stabbed him in the back. And he would know who they were. And we'd be in a meeting somewhere at a place, and I'd be wanting to go and get a hold to him, and he said, no, it's not right. And I tell him, I said, Daddy, you holy, but I'm still a work in progress. But he wouldn't let me do it. And I understand, he was teaching me. He was giving me strength for the journey. A lot of folk don't know it here at Southwestern, but my dad was harder on my brother and I here at the school than he was on anybody else that was employed here. He didn't do it publicly all the time, but he stayed on us because he was giving us strength for the journey. He was teaching us something. Daddy called me his preacher. I don't have to eulogize him. His life is his eulogy. Your presence here today is his eulogy. I don't really even have to give our family words of comfort because we know him, and we know where he is. But Daddy called me his preacher. Whether anybody likes it or not, this is for Daddy. Because he taught me to love the brethren, to love the church, to love God. He taught me to love the Word of God. I learned from him, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I learned from him that a prophet shall the Lord thy God raise up from among thee and among thy brethren like unto me. Hearken unto him. I learned from him that in the days of the death of King Uzziah, I saw the Lord seated upon a throne high and lifted up, and his train filled all the temple. There was seraphim above the temple. They each had 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their face. With 2 wings they covered their feet. With 2 wings they did fly. And they said, holy, holy, holy. The earth is full of the Lord's glory. Their voices shook the doorposts. There was smoke everywhere. And Isaiah said, woe is me, for I am undone. My lips are unclean. I dwell among a people whose lips are unclean. Then one of the seraphim went over to the altar. He took a hot coal off the altar. He took it and put it on my tongue. He said, thy sin has been forgiven. Thy iniquity has been purged. And Isaiah said, I heard a voice from heaven say, who will go for us and whom shall we send? And Isaiah said, Lord, here am I. Send me. I learned from my daddy to love the Word of God. I learned from him, Isaiah 9:6, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, the government shall be upon his shoulder, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Almighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. I learned from my daddy, Isaiah 11:5, and righteousness is the girdle of his loins, and faithful to the girdles of his reign. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, the leopard shall lie down with the kid, the calf, and the young lamb, the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. The cow and the bear, they shall feed them. Young ones shall lie down together. The old lion shall eat straw like the oxen. The sucking child shall play upon the old bears. The weaned child shall put his hand in the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. I learned from my daddy, Isaiah chapter 28 and verse number 14. Wherefore hear the word of God, these strong men which rule this people which is in Jerusalem, because you said we made a covenant with death, with hell, but we had agreement with the overthrown skirt shall pass. It shall not come to us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore thus said the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation of stone, a tried stone, a pressure, cornerstone, a sure foundation. I learned from my daddy, Isaiah 40 verse 31, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount on the wings of eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. I learned from daddy, Isaiah 54:17, no weapon shall form against me. I learned from my daddy that Jesus was coming to the earth and he was sent here by God. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. I learned from my daddy, Romans 5:8, but God commended his love toward us, then while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. I heard from daddy that Romans 8:31, if God be for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:28, and we know all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:31. in the last. I learned from Daddy to love the Word of God. And so here I am with a broken heart. I'm standing here with a broken heart. My mama's gone. My daddy's gone. Y'all can't help me.
Come on, say it.
Nobody can help me.
Come on.
And just as David said, I will lift up my eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help. And the only way I can hear from God is I got to get back in His book. So I need to know something about Daddy. Daddy, you're gone. And church, let me tell you something. I told you last night, God was merciful to me because He knew how close we were. I went on to Memphis to preach. I came back. He's sick. I went on to Los Angeles after he passed. But before he passed, God blessed me to sit with him all day long, listening to Mahalia Jackson. He was not able to really respond, but he knew we were there. We tag teamed on him. I held his hand most of the day. Then my wife jumped in. Then David jumped in. Then Herb jumped in. After they left, I grabbed his hand again. I sat right there by the bedside as he looked straight ahead. One little tear came down his eye. He knew I was there. And I thank God. And He gave me that time with my daddy. I wasn't worried about where he was going. I didn't know if the next breath was going to be the last one. But even had it been the last one right there in front of me, I knew where he was going. How do I know? Because I went back to the Word. I had to check. I had to check. And I read over there. When this mortal shall put on immortality. When this corruptible shall put on incorruption. Then shall come to pass the saying, death, swallowed up in victory. For death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? I read over there in Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus Christ. And I heard a voice from heaven say, right, blessed. I've learned to love blessing. You know why? Because Job taught me how to look at this thing. Job lost everything, even his children. And he said, naked came I into this world, naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. We don't have no problem as long as He's given us stuff. Yes, He gave me a great daddy. He gave me a great mother, great brothers, a great family. He's given me a great wife. Yes, I bless His name. I'm going to church. I'm going to be right there when they open the doors. But when He takes away, and now God has taken away, but my attitude is blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And so I'm going to bless His name from this point forward. I'm going to bless His name. I thank God for the henceforth. 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 You remember when Paul said over there, he said, I fought a good fight, finished my course, kept the faith. Henceforth. Thank God for the henceforth. Henceforth has laid up for me the crown of righteousness. I'm not worried about where He is. And I want to see Him again. And I now feel like David. You talked about David. I feel like David. David sinned a great sin. There was a baby born. The baby was on the bubble, on life support. David was hoping God would be gracious. He was just suffering, and he wouldn't eat anything and all that. Finally, God took the baby, allowed him to die. David got up from there, encouraged himself in the Lord, refreshed himself, cleaned himself up, got him something to eat. They said to him, he said, what is this thing you doing? You were mourning as long as the baby was sick. David said, well, I thought He was going to be gracious, but He didn't do it.
He went on and took him. I knew I messed up. I don't want to see that baby again, but he said, he can't come to me. Let's go to him. And the only way I can go to him is I have to live like he lived. And so, he's given me strength for the journey. He's given me strength for the journey. He's given me strength. And so I say, Daddy, it's all right. I'll see you a little later. What a moment.